Alright, so I'm going to install the fan. I have it out of the box. As you can see, it has thermal paste on it below this plastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the fan. I'm going to try and keep the wire to the bottom like this and install the fan this way. So I'm going to put this on here, and then we have these clips which just slide in here and they lock in around the cooling system. Same on this side, lock in around the cooling system. You can see one of them. There. One of them is slightly bent. There, straightened it. I like to keep the wire to the bottom and try to figure out the best way to wrap it around to plug it in. I'm going to plug it into this one right here. This is just, I'm not super happy with this. It's just a push pin system, so I may change these later. First of all, we want to get the CPU out. So let's get the CPU out. I have it wrapped up here for a couple of years, and what we're going to do is I'm going to push down on the pin here, pull it to one side and release. Now this plastic cover should pop off after we put this in. I have previously cleaned this, so it is clean. As you can see, there's your CPU. Sorry. So you can see there's a little arrow down in the bottom corner here. So we try and line that up with the arrow here. There's an arrow over here. So basically you don't want to touch the bottom of it. You just want to drop it in nice and easy. Get it close to where you need it to be. Drop it in. Give it a little, just check to see. And it's good. So now in the process of locking it down, that plastic cover should just pop off. Now, if you need to return the motherboard, you will need to cover this up again, and obviously you don't want to send them your CPU, so you should keep this. So I'll just keep it where my CPU was in this case, and I'll keep the box because it's not that large, and I'll keep it in the box also. So the CPU is installed. This is my motherboard, obviously. I'm gonna remove this plastic because I'm not enjoying working around it. It's kind of sticking out of the way. So let's remove the plastic. And this is going to be a video, a couple of parts. I'm just going to do a couple of parts today. So here is the cooler. I want it to blow this way, so this is the back of my case. I'm going to have fans blowing in and out the back of the case and out the top behind this. So I want to go here, so I'm going to concern myself with the wire afterwards. I don't know if it's going to reach all the way. It doesn't seem like it will. Maybe I can reach it underneath. So usually when I'm doing the CPU, what I'll do is I'll get the thermal paste and I'll put a piece of tape on my finger and I'll spread it around. Some people say to just put a knob in the middle and squish it down, but if you take the cooler off, you'll find that it doesn't spread properly. So I think you're better off to spread it beforehand. Now the only issue with this is we gotta line up these holes. So that's two of them. And that's the other one. Alright, so we're good. So take the plastic off, try and drop it down straight. So line up that hole, line up that hole. So we should be good there. Line up this hole. So you might be able to see there's not a lot of room in here. next to this fan on this side. So we're in, but there's not much room on this side over here. It's pretty tight. So apparently these are pretty hard to push down, so I just need to be careful not to damage the motherboard and make sure that I can maybe hold it underneath as I'm pushing down. That's one of them. Two. I probably should have done diagonals, but that second one went in pretty easy because it was off the board. So I've seen other people had issues with this, but them ones went in pretty easy. They were the ones I could reach. So these ones seem to be a little more difficult. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take off the fan again. And I'll put the fan on afterwards, now that I have some more room. These should pop in, hopefully. That's that one. And that other one has popped out. That one's in. So once we get it in, we're supposed to turn clockwise, I guess. No, clockwise takes it out, sorry. Alright, so that's locked in. That's locked in. And the last one over here is locked in. Alright, so we're good. So that's all locked in. So as you can see, the space is kind of tight over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see the best way to get this fan on. So let's slide the fan down to where we need it to be. Right there. And let's pop this back on. And same on the other side. Pop that on. And there's your fan on. Now I need to get this cable to reach around. Yeah. So if you can see here, if I get this cable over this pin, which I can just do, right, so we're good, and then around this pin, and then around this, then I can install it here. This pin will only go one way. This is labeled CPU fan, so this will only go on one way, so we can't make a mistake. And that's on, and there's your CPU fan is connected. Cable is pretty tidy. It's actually a nice looking fan. So the next step a lot of people would do is maybe only install one stick of RAM, but we'll install all four. If there's an issue, we can take them back out again and just put them one at a time. But as you can see, I had these in a previous computer, but I bought these at the same time. So they're all in one set, so there should be no issues, hopefully. So I just bought something that was inexpensive because I was getting quite a bit of RAM. So just be careful when you're taking it out of the box, not to damage it. It doesn't matter what way I put them in, it's going to be labeled here, B1, B2, A1, A2. Check your manual because the numbers are kind of weird. It's usually the two that are the furthest away one and then two over. So usually it would be the B2 and the A2 that they want you to put these in. So I don't know why they decide to number it that way. It seems kind of weird. So let's open these up. We'll do the one closest to the CPU first. Alright, so they're all open. So make sure you don't end up crushing the box. Make sure you have it turned the right way. I have not got it turned the right way. So let me turn it this way. That's it. And Now, I don't know if I've mentioned, I already have a work PC with fairly high spec that I built myself. And I have an old Dell at home, about 6 years old, that I want to change, so that's why I'm building this computer. The Dell one at home won't even register my new monitor, and it was due for an upgrade, so here we go. I do believe people are better off to build their own computers, because when you need to upgrade, you've already been in your computer, so you know what to do. My Dell at home, I will not have much room to upgrade in that Dell, so it's not even worth trying. So just be careful pushing down on these, but they're going in pretty good. Actually, it doesn't look too bad beside the silver. I kind of like it. So I'm just going to put this in, and then we have the CPU in, we have the cooler in, we have the memory in. We're going to have to do, the graphics card will be last. We don't need to do that anytime soon. So what we can do is next is, I'll take a break from this video and I'll maybe finish this up at home. Close that down. Now the RAM is in. So a couple of things we'll need to do next is get the SSD in, and we need to get the NVMe drive in. Then we can put the power into the unit, then we'll install a motherboard, then we'll connect all the cables, and then we'll install Windows and all that stuff and update the BIOS. Alright, maybe that helps somebody that's building a similar system. Take care.